Hello people and welcome to sunny, glorious Devonshire. We're in the workshop this week and we're working on our 5.9 litre Cummins swap Daimler limousine. If you didn't watch the first episodes on this beast, you won't know that in a few months' time we're driving this vehicle to Munich, a little bit of a banger rally, for Oktoberfest. Many beers. And so far it's proved horrendously unreliable. However, rather excitingly, I believe I've fixed our main reliability issue, and I'll show you that later. But our main goal for today is going to be plumbing up our wonderful dark side intercooler and breathing a bit more power into this rather lackluster 130 horsepower Cummins engine. Let's get to it. Right then, first off, let's start with our reliability issue. And what we have here is the standard lift pump that came with the engine, and this is a diaphragm lift pump. So there's a little rubber diaphragm in there. We put this here. There's a camshaft in the engine that pushes this lever up and down, and it pumps diesel out into this high pressure injection pump. Now it turns out there's obviously, oh, something's just fallen out there. There was obviously a hole or a bit of crap in one of the non-return valves or something. We tried cleaning this one repeatedly with no success, but essentially we were having issues because that pump couldn't feed enough diesel to this high pressure pump that injects it into the engine. So what we've done is fitted this pump down here. Now, as you can see, this is rather different. This one uses a rubber diaphragm, and this one in here uses a piston to pump. So these are a little bit more sensitive to dirt. And to handle that, we've put in an inline fuel filter by the tank. I'll show you that later on. But this is actually an upgrade for this engine. And why that is this can pump more volume than this pump. So with the upgrades we're going to be doing to our injector system and our fuel pump, we could do with a bit more diesel being fed to the pump to keep this one healthy and keep our power levels up. While we're here by the fuel system, I'll let you know what I've already done. So I've been inside of this pump and I've put in a stronger governor spring. Now the governor is what controls the RPM, and when the engine hits a certain RPM it starts to bring the fuel back and stop it over revving. So what we've done is put in a 3600 RPM governor spring, which will allow the pump to keep giving fuel up to 3600 RPM instead of the 2500 or whatever it normally is. That will give us more power for longer and hopefully a bit more road speed. I've also put a fuel pin in here. We've got a couple other bits to do. So we've got a timing spacer to go on the pump. I'm going to have to do that when the engine's out because I can't actually get to the little cover down there. But we'll have the engine out in a couple of weeks, so we'll do that later on. We've also got some different injector tips to go in here. Now we're going to be doing that ourselves because, again, this is a rather budget build. I've never done that before, so we'll learn together on that. But essentially, we're going to be taking the injectors apart and changing the little nozzle inside for a bigger nozzle to allow our pump to deliver more fuel faster. Okay, so here we have our new injector tips. Now these are off a 180 horsepower Cummins. They're about the biggest standard injector tip you can get for these engines. You can go bigger, but we don't have a big enough pump for that. Now then, what we're going to do is take these fuel injectors out, which are down in here, as you can see, buried down in the head. So we'll take these injector lines out and we'll split the injectors apart, take the old nozzles out, put the new ones in. These are quite well stuck in, these injectors. They've got this little nylock nut, Cummins approved nylock nut, which is totally the wrong thread for that. There we are. And if we get that on there, get a pry bar underneath it, just tease that out there. And then you can see that all this little thing here is just a little lock collar that holds that injector in. But yeah, let me get these other injectors out and I'll meet you over at the workbench. We'll start changing the nozzles over. We've got the injectors sat here and some petrol. And we're just giving them a quick pre-clean to try and break up some of this 30-year-old Leyland DAF grime. Nobody wants Leyland grime. We'll start with them a little bit clean, and then we'll pop them apart and remove the nozzles. Right, so we've got an injector cleaned in here in the vise. Now this here is our new part. I'll show you that in a minute. They come in a little sealed tube. And that is the new injector nozzle. Sorry, someone's mowing the lawn outside. Jealous. But that is the tip. So that, as you can see, lives in the end there. Isn't that a lovely shiny tip, eh? And that's a bigger tip than what we're used to, if you get my drift. But what we're going to do is split the body apart, whip this tip out, slip in our new bigger tip. Here we go. Right, I've got it clamped in this end. There's a thread in here, so if we get on here and simply undo this part. Now I don't know, there's obviously a big spring in here, so I don't really know. I'm hoping it's not going to fly across the workshop. Oh no, that feels okay. Oh yeah. Now we're farming. Look at that. The business end. Right. We can get rid of that now. We don't need that anymore. That's for peasants. Got a pot of fresh thinners. Clean all the important bits in. There we go. That is... Oh god, oh, I've dropped that bit. Oh god. I wish I hadn't done that. That is upsetting. Yeah, that's the spring. Bloody, bet you didn't know that, did you? No idea that was a spring. Fuck's sake. So here we go, that's the injector tip in there. That's not in correctly at all, I don't think. Let's take that back out. Let's try that again. Line those little pins up. There we go. Get in there. Come on. Come on. There we go. We're in. And this little giblet wants to go in here. Like that. And then we want to line up. See, we got these holes. We've got the dowels to align it. Can you see? Oh, I'm way out of the way of the camera. We got the dowels to align it, and then the little hole for the, I assume, for the fuel to flow through. And then we'll simply join these two together till we get, oh, we've got contact. So yeah, now we'll just do this sleeve up. Very fine thread in there, I see. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. I'm sure there's a very specific, important torque that these have got to be done up to. But I don't know what that is. But you can just see on this one actually now. Now it's clean. If you look on the cone there, you can see the tiny little holes. That's where your fuel sprays out. Click. Click. Yeah, perfectly torqued. Awesome. Right, that's one done. 5 more to go. Well, there we have it. A set of DIY, rebuilt and upgraded Cummins injectors. Now, for this next bit, gonna have to get a little bit jippo. So these are the copper sealing washers that slide over, slide over the tip. And when you screw them down into the block, this is what stops the combustion pressure from leaking out past the injector, because no one wants a leaky injector. Now, I've ordered a new set of these, but unfortunately they haven't arrived, and I'm quite impatient. So what I'm going to do is anneal these. So I'm going to warm them up with a blowtorch, which will re-soften the copper up. And we'll give them a go and see if we can get them to seal. I'll put new ones on it eventually anyway, but just for now, let's see if we can breathe some life into these old girls. Right, well, they're just starting to turn red there. So we'll now go and have a cup of tea and a spot of lunch. Come back and slip them in the block. I've had my food and I've had my water. Just means it's now time to DM your daughter. Little Deirdre over here. Now, that's where the injectors sit in there, and I don't know how well you can see because of the blazing sunshine, but there's a whole lot of detritus in there that we got to clean out. Otherwise, these aren't going to seal very well. Really ought to have cleaned all of this off before I took the injectors out, but there we are. We live and learn, don't we? We're always learning. So let's get those cleaned out with a bit of brake cleaner and some compressed air. Let's slip these injectors in. And when you're doing this, obviously the absolute last thing you want to do is get any crap down in those injector holes and in your cylinders. So make sure you stuff some rags or something down in there, because that would just be, I mean, that would be terrible to get anything in there, do you know what I mean? That would be your engine completely ruined. So yeah, obviously just be really careful when you do this. So I've got the injectors laid out here on this very clean, pristine working workbench. Now, these are little lock rings, if you remember we took these out earlier. And I've just wiped a bit of copper grease around the thread, around the inside, to help everything slip together better. I don't know if that is the right thing to do, but I guess we'll find out if it all goes terribly wrong. Let's slip that over there, look. Come on, being careful not to damage that, damage me tip. Let's just give this hold one last blow, if you will. Sorry, headphone users. And now, here we go. We see they got that little ball on there. There's a ball on the side of the injector there, and it lines up with that little indent in the block there. So we want to line that up. Booty job. And then we'll tighten this lock nut up. And then we'll torque that to the exact Cummins spec. These are brilliant, these spanners, you see, because when you get to the right torque like that, you saw us do there, they just slip off. They're really quite special, actually. They look like normal spanners, but no, they're calibrated. So that is all 6 injectors in and tweet. So what I'm going to do now is the exact opposite of what I did to start with. I put the injector lines back on, the return lines back on, and then we'll move on to the next job. Next job on the list is plumbing up this wonderful intercooler. So we've got to get air from the turbo here down into the intercooler, which you can just see the little silicone elbow I've got down there. So it's into the bottom of the intercooler, run along here, up, and then into the intake of the engine. I'm going to be making it all out of stainless, because stainless is pretty. And obviously this is a real show car, this one. I've had a stainless flange laser cut for this bit, so I'll have that elbow on there, and then we'll make up the rest of the pipe work. Let's get to it. We're going to start off on the passenger side. So I've got a number of 45-degree bends. There's one already on the spooler cooler down there, I don't know if you can see that, and a nice length of 3-inch stainless. So we've got this cast aluminium elbow on the outlet of the turbo, and then we'll have a straight coupler, silicone straight coupler. We're going to run the pipe into a 45. It'll go down towards the chassis, and then we'll have another 45. That's some lovely camera work there. We'll have another 45 there, which feeds it into the intercooler. Simple as that. So I'm going to get cutting some pipe, and then we'll bust out the TIG welder and stick it all together. Unfortunately, I don't have a bandsaw, so to try and get the straightest cut possible, I put a little hose clamp around here. I can trace around it, follow around it, follow the line with the grinder. It's not ideal, but we make do with what we've got. Booty job. Whip that off. We got a relatively straight line there. Ignore the wobble. Well, that's one boost tube done. On to the other side. Well, there you are. One set of 12-valve Cummins Daimler limousine charge pipes. Not really a sentence I ever thought I'd be saying. Now this one I haven't quite finished off because I'm waiting for a silicone hose to come for that, the bottom intercooler connection. So I just need to cut that one to length and roll some beads on that. But this side is complete and it does actually look all right. Quite pleased with that. Mentioned earlier the fuel system. We made some updates. Now, it's a bit bodged together at the moment. I was hoping the fittings were going to arrive today, but unfortunately they've been sent via Every, so no doubt they will be lost. What we've done is we've got a inline Cytec fuel filter there, which unfortunately I have had to steal off my Land Rover, but that will obviously, that's not going to stay. That's just a bit of air hose for the moment. But that should protect our lift pump in future. So once all the AN fittings arrive, I will fix that. And that's going to be the end of the episode for today. Next week, we're going to get to work on making a lovely big exhaust for it. And that's going to be quite a rowdy thing. And I think it's going to sound the absolute tit. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Perhaps we'll be able to take it for a bit more of a spin then as well. And all the rest of the bits have arrived. Thank you for watching. See you again next time.